After asbestos testing came back positive, the Dean of Arts closed the Reid on recommendations made by Memorial Health and Safety. The Reid Theatre closed on February 10th, leaving students in the Diploma of Performance and Communications Media program without a classroom. The Reid Theatre at Memorial University has stood in this community for years as a foundation and a place for learning in St. John's. However, this long history may soon be drawing to a close. The unexpected closure of the Reid has resulted in the 4,400 directing class losing classroom time, rehearsal space, and production space. We spoke to Danielle Irvine, current professor of the directing class.
The Reid definitely has asbestos, but it's not something that snuck up and bit us. We've known about that for years. I understand there was an abatement done a number of years ago. I'm not sure what triggered the response this time, and of course we want everybody to be healthy and safe, teachers and students. It's hard because there's not that many alternate venues out there. They're rehearsing in classrooms, they're rehearsing in the atrium, they're rehearsing in the lobby of the Arts and Culture Centre. They're not even in rooms. They're just finding a space big enough to try and play in.
The students' performances are not the only thing affected by the closure of the Reid. Their rehearsals have to change as well. As you can see behind me, this is a space that directing student Kieran Dyke has to rehearse in, and he's not the only one.
Instead of having this one kind of centralized spot, we now have to spend a lot of time just trying to find alternative locations. Some of the rehearsals we had for the directing scenes where you'd spend a half hour running around trying to find locations because you'd book one area out and you'd realize that some other group took priority, and so we no longer had one place that we had priority for. Instead, we were having to fight everybody else for priority across the entire school, the entire campus.
Do you agree that the Reid should have closed due to asbestos?
They've known about the asbestos problem in the Reid for a really long time. It seems like every couple of months it gets temporarily shut down for asbestos, whether it's up in the ceiling, whether it's on the stage, in the audience, wherever it's been. It's certainly nothing, I don't think, that's really stopped the department before, and they've kind of just been pushing it until they run into a problem. The Reid has been in desperate need for renovations for a long time, and hopefully this full closure of it now is actually going to push it and push the administration to make these changes they've been promising forever. It would be nice to see actual seating that isn't covered in duct tape in the theater. It would be nice to have curtains that aren't full of rips. It would be nice to not be using lighting technology from the early 70s. While some things are pretty well up to date, and it is generally a good theater and a really good space to use, it has been just incredibly neglected because of the lack of interest from the Faculty of Arts.
We tried to reach the Dean of Arts for comment, but she declined our request for an interview. For now, the future of the Reid remains indefinite, but students have high hopes for the future.